The silence at the Newcastle United training ground has been deafening, a palpable void where the electric presence of Alexander Isak once crackled. For over 3 months, the only news surrounding the prolific striker has been of a bitter standoff, of training alone, of a relationship fractured beyond public repair. But now, that silence is set to be broken not by the roar of the St. James's Park faithful, but by the whistle of an international referee on a World Cup qualifier. In a dramatic twist to this protracted saga, Alexander Isak is poised to play his first football in over 90 days after being named in the Sweden squad for their upcoming fixtures against Slovenia and Kosovo, a selection that throws a spotlight on a situation that has left a club in limbo and a manager in the dark. The call-up from national team boss Jon Dahl Tomasson is a lifeline for a player whose club career has been frozen solid. It is a testament to Isak's undeniable quality that his country is willing to thrust him into the heart of a World Cup qualifying campaign despite a complete absence of match sharpness. Tomasson himself admitted the situation is not perfect, but emphasized that Isak wants to be part of our squad and remains a player who can decide matches. This international window offers a temporary escape, a chance for Isak to remind the world of the razor-sharp instincts. This exile stems from a fundamental breakdown in trust, a chasm opened by what Isak firmly believes were broken promises from the Newcastle hierarchy regarding his future. His explosive social media statement last week was not just a transfer request, it was a declaration of a relationship's end, accusing the club of misleading the public and stating plainly that when promises are broken and trust is lost, the relationship can't continue. Newcastle's response was a firm corporate rebuttal, denying any such promises were ever made and reinforcing his status as a contracted player. The standoff escalated into a high-stakes diplomatic mission, with co-owner Jamie Rubin and a PIF delegation arriving at Isak's home for crunch talks, presenting a lucrative new contract in a final attempt to change his mind. It was an offer that was promptly and decisively rejected, with the player reiterating his one and only desire, a move to Liverpool. Amid this corporate chess game, the human and sporting cost is being felt most acutely by manager Eddie Howe and the playing squad. Howe has been deliberately kept at arm's length from the negotiations, a frustrating purgatory for a coach who simply wants to prepare his team. His public comments have been laced with a palpable yearning for clarity, for the narrative to change so he can focus on results. On the pitch, the absence is just as keenly felt. Captain Bruno Guimaraes laid it bare, confessing the squad is really missing our striker, a player whose goals they have desperately lacked in the early stages of the season. He revealed the strange reality of the situation, with Isak training at entirely different times, a ghost in the system, a teammate they simply do not see. The unity of the dressing room, that intangible ingredient so crucial to success, is being tested by a situation entirely beyond its control. So, as the transfer window ticks down to its final frantic hours, the immediate future of Alexander Isak will be written not in the back pages of English newspapers, but on a pitch in Slovenia or Kosovo. He will pull on the yellow and blue of Sweden, a nation's hopes on his shoulders, while the club that holds his contract holds its breath. It is a surreal coda to a summer of discontent. For 90 minutes, the talk will be of tactics and qualifiers, not of promises and contract clauses. But the underlying reality remains unchanged. A world-class talent is in limbo, a club is weakened, and a dream move to Liverpool hangs by a thread, its fate to be decided in boardrooms before the window slams shut, leaving one of these parties, inevitably, facing a very difficult reality. Breaking news shakes the football world once again as the Alexander Isak saga between Newcastle United and Liverpool heads into its most dramatic stage yet. With only days left in the transfer window, the tension between both clubs is reaching boiling point, and the players' determination to push through a move to Anfield has set the stage for one of the most high-profile showdowns in recent Premier League history. Liverpool's persistence in their chase of Isak has been nothing short of remarkable. Despite seeing their first bid rejected nearly a month ago, the Reds have refused to walk away or pursue alternatives. A clear indication that Jurgen Klopp's successor Arne Slot views the Swedish striker as the missing piece in his new attacking puzzle. Reports suggest that Liverpool's recruitment team has put all other striker pursuits on hold, with Fabrizio Romano once again confirming that Isak remains the Merseyside club's #1 target. Newcastle, however, continue to hold their ground. The Magpies have made it clear that they do not want to lose their prized forward without a ready-made replacement, but every approach for potential reinforcements, from RB Leipzig's Benjamin Sesko to Brentford's Yone Wissa, has either been turned down or fallen apart. The club's transfer strategy has been paralyzed by the uncertainty surrounding Isak, and Eddie Howe himself admitted after the weekend defeat to Liverpool that clarity was now desperately needed. That word, clarity, sums up the entire situation. Newcastle fans are desperate for answers. Howe is seeking stability, and even Newcastle's chairman Yasser Al-Rumayyan was spotted in urgent talks with the player and his representatives. Meanwhile, on the Liverpool side, optimism is growing. Romano insists that Isak's desire is crystal clear. He wants to wear the red shirt. According to sources close to the player, Isak has grown increasingly frustrated with Newcastle's resistance, training alone and refusing to make himself available for selection. It is a stance that has caused friction behind the scenes, but also signals how determined he is to force through the switch. Romano emphasized in his latest update that the striker is not negotiating with any other club, only Liverpool, which makes this a once-in-a-generation opportunity for the Reds. The ball is now firmly in Newcastle's court. Either they soften their stance and accept an offer before the window shuts, or they risk keeping an unhappy player on their books for the rest of the season. For Liverpool, the stakes are equally high. While Slot's side has started the season strongly, their attacking depth remains thin, and the addition of Isak would give them the elite number 9 they have craved since Darwin Núñez's inconsistent form left questions unanswered. If they fail to land him, they will be scrambling for alternatives in the dying hours of the window. Fans are already bracing for a dramatic finale. Some believe Newcastle's owners are simply driving up the price before reluctantly cashing in, while others insist the club will stand firm to show they cannot be bullied by one of their top 6 rivals. But what is certain is that Alexander Isak has made his stance clear. Liverpool are ready to strike, and the final days of this transfer window could rewrite the attacking future of both clubs. As Romano himself put it, this is a big chance, not just for Liverpool to land their dream striker, but for Isak to step into the next chapter of his career at one of the biggest stages in world football. All eyes now turn to the negotiations, where one decision will either spark celebration on Merseyside or deepen the turmoil on Tyneside. The clock is ticking, and the football world waits.